the hockey, listen, it's a good matchup. I think, who'd you pick in the series, Miles, before it started? Did you pick Vegas or did you pick Washington?
I probably took Vegas.
What do you mean probably? So you didn't really make a pick. But
you didn't ask
who
me.
do you think was going to win?
I probably thought I would get Washington.
Okay. And they still might, but they lose game one. And listen, it's a great storyline. I think Washington's a terrific storyline with Ovechkin. I think that, and all their heartbreak, I think Vegas is an incredible storyline. Why would you, and I understand you're in Las Vegas, but that was the worst open in the history of creation. I mean, that thing, it sapped all the life out of the building. I'm watching that because I'm waiting for the NBA to come on, so I figure I'll watch the beginning of that. I watched that. And I'm like, what is this? You know that thing that they advertise that's on in the summertime you can take the kids to? What's it called? Medieval Times or something like that? You know,
Yep, Medieval
and
Times.
that's what it looked like.
That's what I felt like I was watching.
That's what it's like, Medieval Time. Come on, it's a bunch of D-actors acting like they're Robin Hood, or Sir Guy of Gisborne. I mean, come on now. How ridiculous was that thing? You know, I was thinking you had to be on the ice there in the middle of that thinking, you know what? I know I'm in the middle of this. It really stinks, and I'm in the middle of this. We're bombing in front of everybody. Everybody just can't wait for us to get off the ice. That was awful. I mean, listen, this is Vegas. You want to do it right. I mean, come on, it's Vegas. That was terrible. Took all the life out of the whole building. All right, we'll get to the NBA in a little while where believe it or not, it's hard to believe. A couple of things just jump at you. Imagine LeBron James being, 12-point underdog in a game. And imagine LeBron being, what is he, 7-1, 10-1 underdog in a series? 10-1? They're 10-1 favorites. You gotta lay 10 to win one. They're 10-1 favorites to win a series. Golden State. They're almost an out bet to win the series. Biggest favorite in 16 years to win the series. Tell me this. Look at the series. You have LeBron. You don't know about Love. You have, on the other side, I figure Iguodala will come back well-rested and ready to go, just in time to be a thorn in LeBron's side. And then you have Durant, and you have Curry, and you have Green, and you have Thompson. Not to mention a couple of good role players after that, but just those four. Ed and Iguodala, 5 against 1. I mean, we know what he is, and I almost feel like it's to the point now that we've gotten enough anti-LeBron calls and dumb LeBron calls. It's almost to the point where we should almost outlaw them after watching it. Because if you watched this last series and you still are negative, last night they were saying, wow, they are really pushing this player. He's going 43 minutes tonight at full tilt. There's LeBron James now in the latest stages of his career going 48 minutes, both ends of the floor, blocking shots, having a play. And in the third quarter, Mark Jackson saying, well, LeBron's got to get aggressive. Get aggressive. They are throwing triple teams on him. What do you want him to do? You want him to shoot 1-on-5? He has wide open players. Eventually, they had to make a shot. I give him credit for going back to it because in the first half, every time he threw a pass to an open player, he clanged it. They were 0 for 11 from 3, the other guys. In the second half, he wound up with 9 assists because they made some shots. And Green actually played well. Thompson played defense. Green played well. And they actually get out of there alive. And the Celtics, you know what? Game got a little deep. Tatum was terrific. Game got a little deep for Rozier and Brown. That's all. They were 7 for 34. And if somebody wants to call that hard enough, I'm sorry. Spend this offseason shooting some threes. I mean, my God, could he miss another 3? How do you miss 29 out of 30 at home threes in a game? And how many did Harden ever hit a big 3 the whole series? One time? How many shots did he clang last night? Joe and Jackson, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Mike, I'm anti-LeBron, but
yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's okay.
He's a ridiculous freak.
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, the guy is unbelievable.
What's going on?
The 2018 Yankees, to me, are the 2017 Astros. Obviously, they're going to have to get a top-of-the-end guy in the rotation to get over the next hump where they want to be. My question is what Houston gave up for Verlander was not a ton. They got three guys that
But
don't even pass double A.
they took an enormous contract, though.
They did take an enormous contract.
Yes.
My question is,
At a time when he wasn't pitching well. So they did take a gamble. He wasn't pitching like this. And, you had to wonder whether it was going to be the same anymore. You know that?
well, I think you might just have answered my question. My question was going to be, do you think the Yankees will have to overpay just because they're the Yankees? But
No,
you are
no,
correct.
no.
He wasn't pitching well.
No, he wasn't pitching the same way. And you wondered whether he had that anymore, and it was an enormous contract. Yankee lineup tonight against Morton. So, obviously, let's see what they did here. Morton has just dominated them the last couple times he's pitched against them, and he's had an incredible year. 7-0 with a 2.04 ERA. Here's the night's lineup. Gaudy, Judge, Bird is in the 3-hole. Stanton, who has been struggling, is in the 4-hole. He's the DH. Sanchez, Didi, who, no comment. Hicks, Andujar, and Torres goes back into the 9 spot for the night. So 1 game out to the 5, now back to the 9. Hey, he at least had a hit off Verlander yesterday. I know he had a couple of mistakes, for the game, but he at least had a hit off Verlander. That's more than most Yankees could say yesterday. And so tonight, Gaudy, Judge, Bird, Stanton, Sanchez, Didi, Hicks, Andujar, Torres. Stanton struggling, no question. Didi in one of the... I can't remember a player. Maybe somebody can somebody give me a player who had an April like he had and then a May like he had? I can't think of anybody. I'm sure there's somebody. But this guy was unstoppable. He was the best player in the league for April. He can't get a hit in May. Riding high in April, shot down in May. So it has been bad. This isn't a slump. Slump doesn't do this justice anymore. It is past slump. Mike and Harrison. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, what's
Welcome
happening?
back.
Thank you.
Just wanted to talk about yesterday. I was listening to the game in the car, and you just know when Verlander's going, it's going to be hard to come by any runs.
Brilliant
it's unbelievable
pitcher.
how
Absolutely brilliant pitcher. The thing about him is he doesn't walk anybody. That's the thing. Your durability, but he doesn't walk anybody. That is the amazing thing.
But I was listening to John and Susan in the car, and I think John may have went off to I don't know where he went, but Susan was doing the play-by-play, so I caught a little surprised by that.
Well, John probably went to the bathroom.
Yeah. But did you hear? I heard that they had the Old Timers Day lineup. Did you hear who's coming? First Old Timers Day? You know who, right?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't. Oh, if he's going to say, is it Giambi? Good, great. Oh, good for him. He's an old timer now, Giambi. They wouldn't let Leyland come. They wouldn't let Jimmy Leland come, lieutenant.
You mean Liritz?
Jimmy Liritz come. They wouldn't let him come.
He was annoyed.
He was mad that they wouldn't let him come.
Yeah.
Right? They turned him down.
He had to apologize for being upset.
They draw more attention by not inviting him than they do if they invite him. If they invite him, he comes out on the field, and then people forget about it. If you don't invite him, it becomes a thing for 2 weeks. It's almost like you draw more attention that way with Liritz if you do it that way.
Homer Bush is coming.
He was there. It counts. Homer Bush counts. It counts. They're honoring the 98 team. Is that correct?
Well, they've been doing that all year.
But isn't the theme of this the Old Timers game, the 98 team this year?
I'm not sure if the Old Timers game.
Oh, it isn't. I thought it was. I thought it was about the 98 team this year.
It might be. I haven't heard that.
I thought everything was about the 98 team this year,
Well,
including
they've done a lot of that.
Right.
Wells no hitter. They had his
Right, but
bobblehead day.
I thought they were bringing them back in honor of the 98 team, but who knows? They might not be doing it. You know what it is? They don't have that many of the older Old Timers anymore anyway. That group now has become the group. The only issue is with Jeter in baseball, he won't come back. That's the thing, and that team's going to miss not having Jeter there because it's almost like you have your biggest guy doesn't come back. That's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to come back that much either. I really don't. John in Breezy Point, what's up, John?
Hi, Mike. I think the guy was talking about Boughton. I could be wrong, but anyway.
What about Boughton?
The Old Timers.
No,
game.
I think he was talking about Giambi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got 2 points, Mike. If 0 for 27 is not a testament that the three-point shot is bad for the game, I don't know what is.
1 for the last 30. 7. Not only that, think about it. 7 for 44 for the game.
Oh,
7.
Now,
That game. It had to be a record, right? I would think. I don't know if somebody can clue me in if this is a record or not. Maybe there's some game between Denver and Houston. Some night that was different. But last night, how many threes did they shoot? 80 threes in the game last night?
But you know what? Think about this, Mike. I always thought Jabbar was the best player before this superhuman on Cleveland, who's just in another stratosphere. But would Jabbar even fit in today's game?
Not the same way, but you utilize him. But yeah, you utilize him though. But it's amazing. You would tell him, Kareem, listen, if they double team you, don't shoot the sky hook. Throw it in the corner. This is a game where there are teams that they don't want you to offensive rebound the ball. I mean, think about that. I mean, it's gotten to that point. 83 3-pointers shot in the game last night.
And it wasn't even. It was, you got to. To me, the guy's a stiff, Trevor Ariza, and he's throwing up brick after brick. I mean, you got to smarten up.
He went 0 for 12 last night. Now he played good defense.
I mean, come on.
Listen, he tried on defense. You got to give him credit. He's gone a very hard guy to guard. But think about it. Last night, Ariza was 0 for 9 from 3. Gordon, who I think played his heart out for Houston, absolutely played his heart out. I was very impressed by him. But he was 2 for 12. Gordon, when he went to the basket, made 7 out of 9 layups, but he was 2 for 12 from 3. He actually scored 23 points, but he was 2 for 12 from 3. And then Harden was 2 for 13 from 3. Did you check out the numbers in this series? Maz, can you do me a favor and give me what Harden shot for the 7 games from 3-point in this series? In Game 7, he was 2 for 13. I mean, 2 for 13. In Game 6, he was 4 for 12. In Game 5, he was 0 for 11. That's supposed to be the MVP. 2 for 13, 4 for 12, and 0 for 11. So in his last 3 games, he was 6 for 36. In his last 3 games, the player that most likely is going to be given the MVP the player who was going to get the MVP most likely is Harden, right, over LeBron, most likely, was 6 for 36 from 3 in his last 3 games. 6 for 36!
Yeah. And 122-63, I think that's the numbers that the Warriors outscored the Rockets in the second half of Games 6 and 7.
Well, yeah, they killed them in both games, but especially Game 6. But think about it.
Yep.
6. This team was 1 for its last 30 from 3 at home. You think you stop shooting them at some point. 1 for 30. And they were making layups. But 1 for 30 from 3.
That's hard to comprehend.
7 for 44 for the game and 1 for their last 30. And Harden was 2 for 13, and in his last 3 games, 6 for 36 from 3.
Ouch.
That's 16%. And he's MVP. He's shooting 16%. All right, 4 o'clock. Here's the Mink Man.